Hello, everybody, and welcome back. My name is Tuxedo Ian. We are getting back into our playthrough of Book of Hours. This is going to be part 34. We are nearing the end of winter and about to go into a new year, and we have some rain to deal with today, but hopefully we'll be able to do something, or actually we have hail going on, but let's see what we can get done today. Welcome back. Everything is remembered. Hush House endures. Alright, so it is the end of winter. We are about to see whether we have pneumo coming in. Nope, we have a regular year about to start again. And the yew tree has white flowers this year. Our yearly stipend has arrived from St. Ronwin's, along with the usual rather sniffy reminder I should spend it wisely. We have an iron spintria and £1, a noble paper in soothing green. Britannia lounges on her throne, flaming hammer propped insouciantly across her knee. And we have a new affair is going to begin. What's happening in the world beyond Brankrug? What visitors will the season bring? We'll draw a new incident, find a suitable visitor for the current incident, or retire the current incident if there are no visitors left for it. So let's see which incident is going to be starting up this season. And we have two books up here, The Carmine Petal Revisited and Operations of a Certain Finality. I do think we will go ahead and start reading Operations of a Certain Finality because we do have the ability to do so. We have more than enough winter aspect with just our Inks of Containment. And I can master this mystery. So let's see, we do have this hail. Is there anything we can do with it? 3 edge and 3 sky. So let's see, we have Book of the White Cat, which is 16 sky. Not really going to be useful for that. We have the Wounds, which is 18 edge. Not going to be useful for that, really. Unless we used our... Well, let's actually see how close that gets us. So Wounds. We add Kilisimi. We add the hail. We add a metal. And then we'll add our bottle of Nillikent, which is 7 more edge. And a skill. So we can actually get to 17. So we'll give it a try. We might be able to, if we just need 1 point, and we'll have plenty of opportunities to do that. So we'll also start reading something that will give us a... Let's see here. We want a 2 edge. Well, we can do Black Nephrite gets us a 1 edge with fear. So we'll start that up. And that will give us the memory. We also have an Arab and a metal left over. We have another book that we're reading up here, a moth book. And we have another book we're reading up here, a grail book. We will need a few more lessons for or a few more mysteries for Auroral Contemplations there. Applebright Euphonies is now level 2. Breath is the temptation of the soul. Pleasures and insights into the church would call the secrets, the sisterhood, the mysteries, and the bureau unsanctioned. Sky and Grail aspect. You have to excuse me. I think I'm trying to come down with a cold. The weather here has been rather strange as of late. And something has finished. Okay, we finished reading this book up here. The Carbonic Schism. The Order of Obliviots on the brink of schism assembles in a Bound's house identified only as Carbonic, after the Fisher King's castle of legend. There, the No and the Long of the Order debate their long policy of non-involvement in matters of feather and scale. One of their number, the one recording the debates, describes how in desperation he has found some kind of solution in a volume of transcendent heresy, but dares not pursue it alone. He convinces a handful of other obliviots to depart Carbonek with him, while the others cross the sea to Port Noon. In the last few pages, the author reveals himself as the no-adept Ambrose Westcott, writing in an uncharacteristically serious mode. He informs any who should find this work that he has returned the book he spoke of to Abbot Geoffrey's Secret, where it can be retrieved with certain invocations of the Sacralimiae. He hopes that one who has read this far and understood this much will find a history to determine. So this is just another hint as to the hiding place of that book, The Sun Disfigured, that we found in the last video. And we have one more lesson on Sacralimiae and a memory of hindsight. So we will mark this with hindsight, which we'll have to do using consider. All right. And then we can stuff this into our red books pile. And we've also finished reading The Orchid Transfiguration, A Feast, a compilation of quasi-Rosicrucian allegories supposedly by Robert Flood. This is in the original Latin. The illustrations are certainly striking. They flush the skin and glow beneath the eyelids after the book is closed. We must devour to be devoured. We cannot be undevoured, as we cannot be unborn. So this has given us intuition and a lesson in desires and dissolutions. So we'll mark that down. And we can put these two books together since they are volumes of a similar series. We'll put those up there. And we have the Carmine Petal Revisited, which we would need 12 forge for. I think we're a little far away from that. Let's see. Our best forge is Librarian Lapidary, which would be 4. We could get 6 from a memory. 8 from that. Yes, we're 9 from a tool. So we still need to find 3. So we'll have to wait a little bit for that. We do have this, which we can use for reading a Grail or Lantern book if we had one. Arapicaean 16, Forge 14. Again, we're Moth. We could use this to read The Serenity of the Black Wood or White Jade Tablet. Let's actually see what we can get. Or Journey to the Grove. Yeah, we could do Journey to the Grove, but I think we'd probably get the most benefit out of White Jade Tablet because that would teach us Rites of the Roots, which I do not think we have yet. Oh, we have 1 level of Rites of the Roots, so this would give us 3 lessons on that. So let's give that a try. We'll grab that into our inventory here. And we'll come up to our Moth desk. So we have White Jade Tablet. It's written in Crack Track, so we have to add that. Some books are to be tasted, others to be swallowed, and some few to be chewed and digested. So we will add Pet for... Nope. We will add Trist for 2 Moth. We will add Newman the Sun's Weakness, gets us another 5, brings us to 7. Then for skill, we need Moth skill. I know we have Edict's Liminal, which gets us 5. That brings us to 12. So we just need 2 more points, so we can use the Shears of the Sisterhood, and we'll need 1 more point later, but we have enough Trist and Fet to do that. Plus, we can also read a book to get a memory, so we'll do that. Read Malachite Supplications, which will give us an impulse. So that should be enough to finish that. Plus, we've got plenty of items laying around that can help us out. The affair of the drawing a new developments in the world beyond Brandkrug. Is there someone en route to Hush House? The affair of the unfinished lark. For 3 years, the sculptor adept Zuthilium Zidane has labored at his masterpiece, an abstract sculpture that speaks with the voice of the desert lark. And now, puzzlingly and suddenly, he is dead. Visitors with an interest in Forge and Sky mysteries will want to talk about this. So we have Magister Huckleberry, metallurgist, gourmet, corrupted immortal, and supposedly a long-ago king's byblow, which, if you're not familiar with that term, means he was probably a bastard child of a king. He's interested in Forge and Grail. He knows Deep Mandaic, Latin, Greek. He likes Grail food and drink. He will only consume Grail food and drink. He understands Phrygian and Aramaic. So we will speak to Magister Huckleberry. What a grim and chilly little country. I hope you've prepared a suitable welcome. Now then, this lark business. Zidane's gifts were mediocre at best, but I think I might salvage something from his work. Zidane made use of some unusual materials. If I am to salvage the work, I must understand their properties better. So we can give him that one. Old copper nose and the softer metal, since he's interested in materials. Yes, that will be sufficient. Don't fret, Librarian. Here is your little gratuity. Yes, this guy is not a very pleasant person to deal with. Okay, so there is our memory fear. So let's see what opportunities we have to finish reading this. So we have a relevant furniture, duende, or a soul piece. So we can definitely just use a piece of Arab to finish this up, or we could actually use the metal, but we'll use Arab. It should ask for the soul first. Yep, there it goes. And that brings us to 18 edge to finish up reading this book. And we have reached a conquest. So we can go ahead and start the reading, or start studying Desires and Dissolutions to acquire that new skill there. And we have finished reading The Wounds. A history of 100 wars sewn into a design of metallic threads that pursues itself across every page. Darius and Alexander at Issus, the incandescent strivings of the houses of Lancaster and York, the Second Worm War. The final page of the book depicts the first battles of a war amongst ours, but the threads fray into alternatives unbraiding from history. One of those threads is a coarse iron wire whose twists suggest that the disciplines of the Scar invoked before a subterranean configuration of iron, fire, and night. So that's giving us a hint that there is something. So we need to look for something that's underground of iron, fire, and night, and use disciplines of the Scar at that location. We haven't found anything like that yet, but I'm sure we will eventually. So we have 3 lessons of disciplines of the Scar, and a memory of regret. So we'll grab that and add regret. Oop. And mark that with memory of regret. Not that I think we'll need to reread that because we have plenty with regret, and it does require a language to do so, so we'll just file that on our shelf for now. And we're just about done reading this one over here to get our moth memory. So there's our moth memory that we needed. And let's see what our moth book is going to require for an extra. So we have 2 soul and 1 thing. So yep, we have Fet we can use to give that last piece of moth we need. Yep, so there's our soul. And we have reached 14 moth to match 14 mystery. And Huckleberry has gone on his way. He's left us his card. And a bronze Spintria. And according to our thing, Magister Huckleberry planned to salvage Zidane's work when it was, as he hoped, sold for scrap. Quite a pleasant individual that man is, but we shall see more of him later, I'm sure. Okay, we have acquired Desires and Dissolutions. We have finished reading Operations of a Certain Finality, subtitled The Hammer's Sundering, the work of an anonymous adept who has violently despised the invisible Serapeum, the library of the Watchman's Tree in Alexandria. Gee, I wonder if Serena is anywhere near that because she lives in Alexandria. Maybe she worked for them for a time. The author outlines the means that they had taken to sabotage the place and its collection, which increasingly seem more poetic than effective, to the point where the whole business may in fact be some kind of allegory. The author gloats that with the techniques of putrefaction and calcination, they have transformed the library's stocks of azimel to a seduction of black sapphire, which will ensure the texts therein contain only moon truths. So there's our hint as to another crafting recipe. So azimel with putrefaction and calcination can be turned into something of black sapphire. So this has given us 2 lessons in putrefaction and calcination, and a memory of hindsight. So we'll mark that with hindsight. And this can take up the last slot on our winter shelf here. Alright, so we do have quite a few lessons here. So let's check and look at what we can get done here. So we have putrefaction and calcination. We can go ahead and learn that one. And the memory hindsight will get it to level 2. We're about to get some more lessons here. So this was the White Jade Tablet, supposedly copied from a tablet of white jade which serves as the covenant stone of the Grove of Green Immortals, the token which gives that library shelter beneath the Watchman's Tree. When humankind emerged from the weft of the roots, we were smeared with the filth of crumbled ages. The foolish sought to wash it from themselves, but our skins were yet soft and fell easily from us. The tablet expounds the dangers and pleasures of abandoning appearances in search of essence. Along the way, it reveals the secret of skin-shuck mead, which can be brewed from honey by application of the rites of roots, if enough moth aspect is present. So it gives us 2 more lessons of Rites of the Roots and a memory of Impulse. So we'll mark that with Impulse and put that into our... We've finished that shelf, so we can start on another shelf over here. Actually, since we finished that one, we're using that for... We've got plenty of shelf space here. Oop. Alright, so let's see. We have plenty of lessons we can use now. So let's finish that up when we started. And let's see. So Auroral Contemplations, to level it one more time, we would need 6 memories of Lantern or Edge. We have a couple different things we can go there. So we have 1 memory there. We can start another one here. We can... No, we need... Auroral Contemplations will make a Torg's Cleansing. That will give us 2 memories. We can read that one to get us 3. We can go here and read this. Gives us 4. Let's see. Lantern or Edge. Ah, there we go. There's Lantern. That gives us 5. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. That gives us 4. And then we can examine something to get a memory sight. Oh, what is this? Oh, we forgot that this observation of the peacock door needs a language. So actually we'll stick that up here. And as a description of VAC, so a quasi-Baromic script, intricate and bold, barely constrained in silence. It demands to be spoken aloud, but it is beyond me. So in case we need something, again, with contradiction, so that would be Victory of Crowns instead. And as soon as this finishes, we can examine one of those busts and get a memory of sight. And that will get us to 6 memories of Lantern. We'll check out Thomas DeWolf's bust here with a tryst. De Wolf had been a mercenary captain on the continent under the notorious Martin van Rossum. He was a hard man in a hard time, but not a simple one. He left Van Rossum's service after the sack of The Hague, apparently after a spiritual crisis. It is known that he was at one point in training as a priest. So that's given us a memory of sight. And while we have another half minute here before our books finish reading, we can use that to advance Rites of the Roots. Because we do have this memory of impulse. So we need nectar, or we can use our FET for that and get Rites of the Roots to level 2. Alrighty then. Alright, so there are our 5. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We have more than enough memories to upgrade Auroral Contemplations 1 more level, which we could have done earlier, but which would have made reading Wounds a foregone conclusion, but we managed to make it anyway. Alright, Auroral Contemplations with a lesson, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 memories. And a FET. Oh, we need metal to finish it off. When I thought I'd understood, I'd only begun. Improve this skill to level 7. So then we will need 2 moth or nectar memories. Or we need Disciplines of the Scar, needs edge and lantern, so we need 1 more lantern memory. So we can come and we can read this one and get a new memory for that. And then let's see. Rites of the Roots would need 2 more memories. So we can do one. So we need Rites of the Roots needs nectar or moth. So we can get 1 there. And we can get the other nectar memory by examining this Paradise Palm again. It's up a little bit here. Rural Contemplation is now level 7. We have 8 Lantern and 7 Edge. Should be helpful for things and for crafting as well. So, Putrefactions and Calcinations, we can level that to level 2. While we wait for our books to finish, we have the Hindsight, and we have Trist will do that. So there's a Lantern Memory for Disciplines of the Scar. There's our Nectar and Moth, so we need, as soon as this is done here, we can examine our object. Alright, and so we'll finish up with getting Rites of the Roots to level 3 here. Guess we'll have to wait for tomorrow to do any more of these. So that is probably a good stopping point for us. We can pick up from here tomorrow. I hope you've enjoyed watching, and if you would like to say anything, please leave a like or a comment. If you want to see more of these, then feel free to subscribe, and I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you for joining me.